Okay, so this first one here, how do we put that in our y equals form? 2y minus 1 equals 7 minus 5x. We have to get y by itself. So what do we have to get rid of? Okay, first thing we're going to do is we are going to add 1. So that's gone, giving us 2y. Where do we add 1 on the other side? The 7. So that's now an 8 equals 5x. Oops, minus 5x, I should say. Now what? Divide by 2, so that's a y. What do we divide by 2 on the other side? Everything. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Negative 5x divided by 2 is negative 5 halves x. To graph that, where do we start? Start at 4 right there, and then from there we go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2 to there. Next, this one. 2x minus 3y equals 9. What do we have to do first? We've got to get y by itself, so we have to get rid of the 2x. I'm going to subtract 2x. It's gone. Now we have negative 3y equals 9 minus 2x. Any questions on where that came from? Everybody good that far? Okay, now what do we have to do? Divide by negative 3. So that's gone. We got y. And again, when we multiply or divide, we have to do it to the whole side, or every piece. 9 divided by negative 3? Negative 3. Negative 2x divided by negative 3. Positive 2/3 x. So where do we start on our graph? Negative 3, and from there we go up to 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3, right there. Like that. This one, 7 minus 1/3 y equals 1/4 x plus 8. Where do we got to start on that one? What's that? We will subtract the 7, giving us negative 1/3 y. Where do we subtract 7 on the other side? From the 8. So 1/4 x equal, or 1/4 x plus 1. Now what? Divide by a negative 1/3. That's gone. Y equals. We divide by a negative 1/3 on the other side. What's 1/4 divided by negative 1/3? It's negative 3/4 x. What's 1 divided by negative 1/3? Negative 3. So where do we start on our graph? Negative 3. 1, 2, 3 right there. And then from there we go down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. How many of you had all 3 of those right? How many of you had at least 2 of them right? How many of them didn't get them done? Okay, how many have no clue how to do them? It's teetering a bit. Drew? No. I just wanted you to do them. We'll come back to practicing some more of those by the end of the hour if we get time. I want to take a look at the next step, talking about finding the slope of a line. Let's say I have a line here that goes through a point. Let's say this is negative 3, 2, and it goes through a point over here. Let's call this 5, 5. And I have a line going through it, like that. I want to find the slope of that line. Slope, remember, is a rise over a run. So we need to find a rise and run. So I'm going to draw it in like this. What is the rise here? How far does this rise? That goes from 2 up to 5, right? So it rises 3 units. How far does it run? 8. Good. From -3 to 5. So the slope here is 3/8. Can that be reduced? No, it cannot. So how about this line? What's the rise? Now what we have to do is we have to find 2 coordinate points here. Since this crosses the axis at coordinate points, we can just use those points. How far does it rise? 4. How far does it run? 2. So this is a slope of rise over run, 4 over 2, which is 2. So you gotta be careful not to flip it. How about this one? What's my rise? -4. We're going down 4. What's my run? 6. So my slope is -4 over 6, otherwise known as -2/3. In your notes, find the slope of that line. What'd you come up with? We have a rise of 3 and a run of 4. Not negative. As you go from left to right, does this go up or down? This goes up. It's a positive slope. Okay, so we're okay with that. Let's go back to an example like this. Let's say this is 1, 4. And this point over here, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to erase this and put it down below. 1, 4, and this point over here is 7, 7. I have a rise and a run, but I don't have any lattice points. I don't have a grid on this graph. How do I find my rise? Okay, it's the difference between my y coordinates from 4 to 7, right? That is the difference in my y coordinates that gives me that. And what Eric just said, if I call this point 1 and this point 2, this would be y2 and this would be y1. The y coordinate of point 1, y coordinate of point 2. That rise is y2 minus y1. My run, this distance, is the difference in the x coordinates. Again, this would be x1 because it's the x coordinate of point 1, and this would be x2, or the x coordinate of point 2. x2 minus x1. Now, does it matter whether I did y1 minus y2? No, it won't. If as long as I did the same point first in both of them, it wouldn't matter. So here, the rise is y2 is 7 minus 4, which is 3. And the run is this 7 minus 1, which is 6. So 3 over 6, or 1/2 slope. So technically, I don't even have to be given the graph. The slope, which is sometimes abbreviated with just the letter m, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if I'm just given a point, like 3, -4, and another point like 7, 10, I can find the slope just from those points. I can label this point 1 and this point 2. So what's my rise? 10 minus what? -4. My run, x2 is 7 minus 3. So 10 minus -4 is 14. 7 minus 3 is 4. That can be reduced by 2. Give me 7/2. 7 over 2. So let's say I've got -3, 11, and 5, -5. So what am I going to put in here when I go to subtract? What goes on top? Let's call this 1 and 2. So what's going to be y2? -5 minus, what's going to be y1? 11. On bottom, the first number is going to be x2, which is 5 minus x1, -3. So it's -5 minus 11. It's -16. 5 minus a -3, +8. So that is a -2 slope. What do you think? Here, we're going to do this. We're going to leave that up. Find the slope for that set of points. And the slope for this set of points. First one, what'd you get? 1/2. Let's see what we get here. Point 1, point 2. So it'll be 15 minus 11 over -1 minus 7. This is 4 over -8. It is a -1/2. How many people had a -1/2? Cool. Next one, point 1, point 2. What'd you get? 2. Let's try it. So 17 minus 3 over 5 minus a -2. 14 over 7 or 2. How many of you feel really good about these? Good deal. What if I told you that we have a line with a slope of 2/3 and it goes through the point 7, 1? Could you graph that point, that line? Sure can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It goes through that point, and from that point it goes up to over 3, right? Come on. So there's our line right there. That's easy enough. So what if I gave you, it has a slope of -3/4, and it goes through the point -5, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It starts there. From there, what do we do? Down 3 over 4, right there, right? That's easy enough, right? If you got a point, once you got the y-intercept is just a starting point. You can use any starting point. It's just we get the y-intercept out of the equation, so we just will start there. What's trickier, though, is taking a line from the graph and writing its equation. There are two pieces of information we need from this. One, the easy one to find is what's the y-intercept. It is -3. It goes through right there, -3. What is the slope? Well, we have a rise here of 3 and a run of 5. So it is 3 over 5. The equation of this line then is y equals 3/5 times x minus 3. Did I lose you? Because the number that multiplies x is my slope. So I found my slope. You understand how we got the slope, right? That multiplies the x. Then the y-intercept, which is just that location, is added or subtracted to it. Since it's a negative, it's -3. Let's do another example or two, see how it goes. So, first thing, I'm going to abbreviate here a little bit. Y-intercept. Six, good. Slope. Well, this is a rise of 6 and a run of 3. So 6 over 3, or 2. So the equation is going to be y equals, what's going to multiply x? 2. Slope multiplies x, so 2 times x. And the y-intercept is a +6, so it's +6. So here, actually, you know what? Find me that equation in your notes. So y-intercept is what? -2. Slope, -2 over 5, or 2 over -5. Either way is -2/5, right? So my equation is y equals -2/5 x minus 2. Very good. Questions? You still look confused, Mike? Remember, once you've got, you can find the slope and the y-intercept. You're doing that fine, right?
Yeah.
Once you've got the slope, it's just that number, the slope multiplies x. So -2/5 is my slope, so it's -2/5 times x.
Okay.
And then the y-intercept, -2, so -2. If it was a +2, it'd be +2.
Right.
That's it. How about this one? What's my y-intercept? It is 4. My slope? Yeah, up 1 over 2. So it's slope of 1/2. The equation is y equals, now hold on for the answer. Mike, what's the equation you're going to be then?
Going to be
Which one gets to multiply x?
slope
Slope. So 1/2 x.
plus the y-intercept.
So +4. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Kind of? Okay. It's always y equals slope times x plus the y-intercept. So if you want to put, if it was a negative, you could put plus a -2 or whatever. And it's just easier to put -2. So, equation for this one. Y-intercept. -5. Slope. That'll be down how much? It's down 1, so it's -1. 1, 2, 3. 3. So -1/3 is my slope. So the equation?
1/3.
-1/3 x minus 5. Or you put plus a -5, either one. What do y'all think? What's that? Find the slope of that line. Let's see if we can remember. So what do we do here? 1 minus 7. Okay, we're doing 1 and 2, okay. Over 5 minus 2. So 1 minus 7 is a -6. 5 minus 2. That reduces to -2. What do you guys think? Good stuff? Well, I'm going to give you guys the last 15 minutes here to work. So in your big book, page 404, is exercise 16-7A. I'll warn you, there's a quiz coming up on this stuff. I'll warn you, that quiz might be Monday.
Oh, no. I thought you said there's no class Monday.
Monday? Yeah, I'll be here Monday.
No. Well, we're not. Oh,
I'll be back for class by Monday.
so.